main systems that I currently own being the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo 64, the Nintendo GameCube, the PlayStation 5, a Steam Deck, there is no doubt that I have collected a lot of games to play through the years. And playing a lot of these games has been a lot of fun, but through the years, I often find myself coming back to some of these games that I just cannot give up. I just love them. I always find myself having the need to replay them over and over again. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the top games that I have played and continue to replay and will probably replay until I die. Anyway, these are the games that I want to talk about, so let's get into them. The first game that I want to start talking about to start off this video is the game that I first played on Nintendo 64. I love this game. I've said it many times before on this channel. It is the game that made me a gamer, that made me love the franchise what it is today, and that is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I cannot count how many times I have beaten this game. Whenever I'm bored, I find myself going back to this game, whether it's Nintendo 64 or if it's Nintendo Switch Online, I'll be playing it. It's just the perfect Legend of Zelda game. I mean, being able to play as Link going through Hyrule, starting out as Kokiri Forest, you going through the forest, getting the dagger, then doing the very first dungeon of the game inside the Great Deku Tree, fighting Queen Goma, then going on to fighting the King Dodongo of Mount Doom, and then when you become an adult, being able to explore the Forest Temple, and then our favorite temple of the game that I'm sure everyone loves, the Water Temple.
Say what?
And honestly, my favorite temple of the game definitely had to be the Shadow Temple. Just, it was so creepy, man, exploring the temple, having to move quickly through the area, especially when they have the Wallmasters out, and I don't think anyone can forget how creepy it was if a Wallmaster would be able to land on Link, and Link would be like kicking and screaming as he was pulled up, and then the screen would fade to black. That was terrifying, but amazing. But it was just fun to be able to explore Hyrule how it was back in the 90s, to be able to ride Epona through Hyrule Field, to be able to swim in Lake Hylia, to be able to go through the Gerudo Desert, the Haunted Wasteland, to be able to go through all these temples, fight these great bosses, ultimately leading up to fighting Ganondorf and his pig form Ganon. This game was just amazing. I have to give it a 10 out of 10. Forever, it will hold the #1 spot in my favorite Legend of Zelda games. And yeah, I always find myself going to this one. Fighting Volvagia is probably one of the funnest bosses anyway. And yeah, definitely never gonna give up on this game because I love it. The next game I want to talk about is on the Nintendo Switch. It is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. And I have talked about this video game a couple of times on different videos. Like about a year ago, it was on a video that I have called 5 Nintendo Switch games that I could never give up. I also made a video of Nintendo Switch games to get for Christmas. This one was on it too. And I'm talking about it in this video because this is another game I can never give up. Like, every time I watch the anime of Yu-Gi-Oh!, no matter if it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Original, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, I always find myself wanting to play this game and to be able to build my own deck and to duel these characters. And it is just amazing, because if you love Yu-Gi-Oh, you will not be disappointed. Anyway, before I go any further in talking more about this game, if I can say right now what your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh series is, then you have to subscribe. So, I'm gonna say it right now. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that is everyone's favorite series, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. There, I said it. You have to subscribe now. Anyway, what I love about this is not only is it super fun to be able, when you play the campaigns, to be able to play what character you want to do as. Like, it has the stories from original Yu-Gi-Oh! All the way to Reigns, and it plays through, the campaign plays through each story. Like, the very first episode, Heart of the Cards, you got Yugi versus Kaiba, and what's great is that you can either play with Yugi's deck, or you have the option to be able to create your own deck, which, as you progress through the story of the game, whether through campaign or duelist challenges, each time you win a duel, you're able to unlock all these different cards. So being able to build a deck, you're gonna be able to end up with hundreds of cards to choose from, which is really cool because you can really make your own deck really strong. Also, as you go on through the campaign and you beat each episode, you can be able to switch the characters' stories. So if you have an episode you play as where it's like Kaiba versus Yugi, and you always play as the winner of the duel, so like, of course Yugi beats Kaiba. And, but you can switch that, so you can be playing as Kaiba and go against Yugi. That's a really fun twist that the campaign has to it. I really like it a lot. Plus, it's really cool once you are able to summon certain monsters throughout the game. They have their own cutscenes, like Exodia has an Obliterate cutscene. You have Red Eyes Black Dragon, he has his cutscene. Dark Magician has a cutscene. Basically, a lot of the main characters' ace monsters, they have their own cutscenes in this game, which is pretty cool. Like I said, it's really cool because the campaign lets you go through the different stories through Yu-Gi-Oh! The duelist challenges in this game, they offer more of a challenge, which is really cool. Like, it's different duelists throughout the different series, but they have been like, it's the computer still, but they're a lot stronger duelists, so you actually have to put in effort when you duel them. It's pretty awesome. What I love also is that you can visit the card shop, so you can go through the different series of Yu-Gi-Oh! That are in this game, and you can choose what character you want to buy cards from. Like from original, you can buy from Yugi, you can buy from Kaiba, you can buy from Joey, you can even buy from Grandpa. But what I love is that you can build your own deck, you can choose the character's deck to play as. There's so many options to duel in Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. It's just a really fun game. I think on my Switch, I probably have close to maybe 1,000 hours of playtime on this game. But that's because I just love playing it. Anyway, this is another game I'm never gonna give up, just because I love it. The next game that I always find myself going to is another Nintendo Switch game, and that is Sonic Forces. Honestly, everyone I talk to about this game, they hate it, which I don't understand why. Like, I always get the same reaction no matter what when I ask them how they enjoyed Sonic Forces, if they ever played it, and they always just have the same reaction. I really don't know why people hate it so much. I think it has a really fun cutscene at the beginning with Sonic running through Green Hill Zone, and then he gets there, and then all the enemies show up along with Eggman, and they start beating up Sonic until like everyone thinks he's dead. I think it's a great intro to it. You realize that Sonic's might not be the main focus of the game if he gets beaten up so badly that he's presumed dead or missing. I love it. I think it's genius. I love that the whole thing is these forces coming together because they're gonna be at war with Eggman. He's created his own army with like Shadow and Sabok and Chaos and Metal Sonic, and like you got Rouge and Charmy, and basically it's good versus evil through the whole game. You have all these characters through the classic Sonic meeting these regular modern day Sonics. Like 80s style video game Sonic is in this, which I love. But I love that you are able to create your own character. Like you're able to choose from like a bird, a fox, a wolf, a hedgehog, a cat. Different animals you can choose, like they have their own special abilities. Like Wolf has a really cool ability. Like I think he starts off with 10 rings at the beginning of each level, and each character that you choose to create your own character with, like they have their own special abilities, which is really cool. And as you progress through the game, just completing each level, different things are unlocked for your character, like different items of clothing, different weapons that your character can use to go through each level. I think that's really cool. I love that you have the option really to play as 3 different characters in this, which I don't know why. Again, I don't know why people hated on this. Not only do you get to play levels with your own character, but there are some levels where you play with as old-time Sonic, and then there are levels where you play as regular Sonic. I just love the concept of each of these levels. Like there's one level where he plays as modern Sonic, and he's fighting against Eggman's puppet Infinite, which is like the second side main villain of this game. But you're fighting him in this forest, like running along this vine, and Infinite, he will twist reality like Sonic as he's running along the vine. He'll have to avoid like these rolling spike traps. If he hits them, like reality becomes more twisted. You have to find a way to beat Infinite through that. And there's parts where modern Sonic and your character will team up. Like there's a whole level dedicated to fighting Metal Sonic where you fight alongside regular Sonic with your character that you created. It's just so fun. It feels like Sega really took effort into thinking of how they can make a really fun Sonic game. And for me, I just love playing it. It's a super fun game. I think the levels are really creative. I think it's really fun to play as 3 different characters throughout the game. I thought the boss fights were really fun. I thought the boss fight at the end is really fun. It's just, this is a game I love. You can say what you want about it, but I will always love Sonic Forces. The last game that I want to talk about is something very different. It's not very kid-friendly like the other games I've been talking about, like Zelda and Sonic. This game is pretty epic though. It's a great epic adventure that was designed by Capcom. I got the remake on it for PS5. The game that I want to talk about is the remake of Resident Evil 4. Capcom wasted no time starting this game off with a bang. Not only does the game start off with a very, very dark opening, I mean there's a human sacrifice going on, but also we get this whole recap of what the main character of the game, Leon, S. Kennedy has gone through. He talks about his time he had in Raccoon City. He talks about how he was taken from the police force to become more of a secret agent for, like, the president. And it like, has a montage of him going through different trainings and him being called to meet with the president, where he's given the assignment to rescue the president's daughter. So, like, the game takes place in Spain, and, like, Leon's in the truck with these two people, and, one of them, like, he ends up leaving the car to take a leak, and Leon after a while, like, he hasn't been back, so Leon goes to check on him, and that's where the story begins. And it is a game that just draws you into it. It takes so many dark turns that each chapter has like 16 chapters through it. Each chapter leaves on such a cliffhanger that you have no choice but to let your curiosity get the best of you and continue playing on through the game. What I love about this game is the intense moments of it. Like, Leon, at certain points of the game, he will go on through, like, certain villages where the enemies of the game are. In this game, the enemies aren't really zombies. They're just these regular people that are controlled by this parasite. So, like, Leon will be fighting him, fighting the people of the village. And what I love is that the game's like split into 3 different areas. You get like the Spaniard village, then it goes into like a haunted island place, which is awesome, which leads to this castle, which I love. Like, Leon ends up fighting trolls, and it's really cool. And the third area is like the science lab, which is really creepy. Like, you gotta solve all these puzzles to get the power back onto different areas. But it's really cool. I thought having to deal with protecting Ashley through the game would have been a pain. But really, it's not that hard. Especially there's this one part where, like, Leon, he gets stuck in this trap, so you play as Ashley, and it's actually really fun, because she's going, like, through this dark library, but she's being hunted by these statues of armor that are being controlled by the parasite that are trying to kill her, so you gotta avoid those. It's very intense. It has a high intensity feeling to it. It's such a great action adventure game. I love it. The game doesn't run out of energy in being entertaining as well. Like, each character you can't help but love. Like, there's this one character, his name is Luis. He worked for Umbrella. But instead of hating him, he's honestly one of the funnest characters. He helps you through the game. Like, there's a scene where Leon and Ashley are being hunted by the villagers that are controlled by the parasite. So you end up having Ashley hide while you fight Luis in this house. You end up boarding through the windows. You end up, like, blocking the villagers from getting in. But it's this giant house fight scene with the music is being so intense, you can't help but love it. And it's just great. There's parts where you team up with Luis to fight a couple trolls. And quickly, you're supposed to hate Luis, but you end up loving him. Like, there's this whole roller coaster scene, like, you're in a minecart and you're shooting the villagers. But honestly, if they made this a roller coaster, I would love it. The bosses of the game are always interesting. Like, the very first boss of the game is this lake monster that's, like, pulling this boat that Leon's on, so Leon will be throwing harpoons until the monster dies, which is awesome. There's also this one bioweapon that Leon fights, which, honestly, he's not the best one. You're fighting him running up and down the stairs as he spits, like, this acidic vomit at you or tries to bite you. And there's also this, like, one person from that Leon trained with, like, he ended up, like, he's not possessed or anything by the parasite. He just wants power, so that's why he's working for the main villain of the game. But he is a fun fight too. Like, every fight is awesome, especially the main boss. He's really fun. He becomes like this crab creature and he sends bugs after you. It's super intense, but it's really fun. How dark, how action-filled it is. It's a game that will not disappoint any fan of Resident Evil. I can guarantee that. So yeah, those are the top 4 games that I will always come back to playing no matter what. Through my hundreds of video games that I have, through each system that I own, those games will not ever collect dust because I will always be playing them. Anyway guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel as well. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you next time.